Want your EV market to take off? Then let the Chinese car makers in, so said Bloomberg. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So sometimes the propaganda machine, the fake news media, the lies, sometimes they put it aside and actually tells the truth. Sometimes. There's a clear factor dividing which countries are seeing faster electric vehicle adoption and which are going slower, says Bloomberg. Let me say that again. There's a clear factor dividing which countries are seeing faster electric vehicle adoptions and which are going slower. A case for openness. Dig through enough electric vehicle sales data from different countries and some interesting trends start to pop out, they said. My team at Bloomberg has been working on our annual EV outlook this week. They only know this now. And there's a clear factor dividing which countries are seeing faster EV adoptions and which are going slower. Openness to Chinese car makers. Openness to Chinese car makers. But why is that? The story within China is well understood now, with plug-in vehicles exceeding 50% of sales and Chinese automakers starting to look abroad to sell more vehicles. But what many don't realize is how quickly this is already tipping the balance of EV adoption in international markets. They said many don't realize. That's not true. We realized it. We knew it. We saw wherever the Chinese automakers are going, the people are grabbing them up. For example, Brazil saw EV sales soar more than 500% from 2022 to 2024. Thailand's EV sale jumped 279% over the same period, and Mexico saw similarly rapid growth. Mexico, my neighbor, who is driving the most technologically advanced EVs in the world. Who would have thought that instead of right here in North America? Now the Mexican people are driving way more superior cars than us here in North America. I never thought I would have seen that. And it's a good thing though. Mexico saw similarly rapid growth. Australia was another standout growth market with EV sales up 145% in the last 2 years, guys. This is why the world needs NEO. They need the battery swap stations to help support their grid, and we're coming. The UK's growth rate was more modest, but it was further along in the adoption curve and now has the highest rate of EV penetration among major car markets in Europe. Unbelievable. And again, that's because England has an open market. The common thread between all these markets is their relative openness to Chinese automakers. Thailand is probably the best example of this, with EVs hitting 12% of sales last year and the top 5 EV sales spots all going to Chinese brands. But according to the last CEO of Lucid Motors, Peter Rollins, he said Tesla is way ahead. Other markets have seen similar success. Australia cut EV import tariffs from 5% to 0 in 2022. A free and open market for EVs. By last year, BYD was the second most popular EV brand in the country after Tesla. So Tesla is starting to fall and lose market share in Australia as well. BYD Shark plug-in hybrid pickup just launched and already racked up impressive numbers as the 6th most popular vehicle model sold in March. Brazil also has been open to Chinese imports, with BYD establishing a significant presence in the market. The UK has refrained from taking after the European Union's tariffs on imported Chinese EVs, as has Norway, where Chinese-made EVs are major contributors to nearly 100% share that electric cars now command on a monthly basis. Unbelievable. This is why, guys, once we get to these countries with our battery swap stations to help support the grid, because they're going to need help with the grid when all these cars start using the grid for energy, especially as the summertime comes. By contrast, EV sales fell 35% from 2022 to 2024 in Germany and increased only marginally in the US last year because no one wants the Stone Age technology that we have here. No one wants it. It says the US has over 100% tariffs in place on Chinese EVs, while Germany and other EU members have tariffs of up to 45% on Chinese-made EVs, with rates varying by manufacturer. So here in America, people understand that it's really not in their best interest to buy an overpriced Tesla Model 3 that falls apart. I saw Shaquille O'Neal just sold his two Cybertrucks because of range. It doesn't have enough range. So, it just goes to show that people realize range anxiety, one, is real. Number two, the battery degradation happens very quickly with these EVs, and that's why battery swapping is the only way going forward. That's why NIO is number one. Even in markets where Chinese automakers make up a relatively small share of total EV sales, their presence forces competition and pushes incumbent automakers to put real effort into their EV launches. Companies typically don't self-disrupt a profitable market. A challenger often is needed to force this issue. And I've been saying this for a long time. Some people were saying, well, if they come here, they'll destroy the American auto industry. No, they will force them to innovate. Tesla played that role for many years, but the Chinese are now coming on fast. These sales patterns also challenge the idea that EV adoption will be led exclusively by wealthier countries. Thailand now boasts better EV adoption rates than the US, while Brazil has jumped ahead of Japan. Electric vehicles started out as a top-down phenomenon, but they are quickly shifting to a bottom-up trend. Yes, the middle class wants them, and they are affordable. That's why we just released Firefly, and we have Envo, and we have the L80 coming, the L90 coming first, then the L80. Yes. The sub-brand war has started. Other factors are at play, with regulations and subsidies in flux for markets like Germany and overall market size also playing a role. But if you want a gauge of which countries will see the most rapid growth rates in EV adoption over the next few years, openness to Chinese automakers might be one of the best indicators. Tesla board chair Robin Dillon has sold $558 million worth of Tesla stock since 2020, according to data compiled by Bloomberg, building a fortune she's described as life-changing. That's almost half the $1.2 billion worth of shares sold by Tesla current directors in that span. It just gives you an idea of where Tesla is going by the inside selling. It tells you they understand that they've lost the race, but they tell you to buy. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational, showing you guys exactly what's happening with the EV industry. And Bloomberg hit the nail on the head. They're finally coming out and telling the truth. If you don't let the Chinese in, you cannot help with your greenhouse gases. I think America is the largest producer of greenhouse gases when it comes to cars. But do they really want to help the climate? Or are they more concerned that, well, since China is the leader in that field, let's just continue to put greenhouse gases and destroy the atmosphere? Let's see. But I believe a deal will be made, and I believe that partnerships will be formed in order for them to come here, and it will happen. It's just a matter of time. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the game is played on Wall Street. And I'm 50 cents, we get rich or we die trying, guys.